a lot of conversation about consumer choice from the broadcasters, from your colleague Ben Winkler, and sort of things in transition rather quickly. The ad blocking thing is one thing, but I think the subscriptions to Netflix is another, and the opportunities and challenges to sort of meet a consumer that may be a little bit more in control, and how to make that work. And is that around targeting or ad load, or what are some of the solutions that you see?
Well, I think that there are a couple of points to the answer to that question. The first is how we try to stay on top of all of the different things that consumers are choosing to do. Because some things start small and then they really grow to be a much bigger trend. And some things start to happen simultaneously, but in different pockets of a particular audience or consumer group, et cetera. And then some of it is based on the latest in technology, what is possible, and do people sign up for it? Do they absolutely tap into it? Is that something that they choose to do? One of the things that we have to do on our side is be as agile and as quick as we can to understand what is going on, so we can talk to our clients from a marketing standpoint to really understand what is it about the consumers and the choices that they are making. Because there isn't one thing that's happening kind of across the board. It's so many different things, and it's not defined by, well, this group does it one way and this group does it another way. It's everybody's day is different, and the choices that are made might be different day to day. So certainly the cord cutting is one thing. That's another way of just everybody having their content with them in all places at all times, and understanding what people are doing with that content. But it's just the freedom and the choice of having it with them. It's not necessarily choosing what the content is. It might be the device that they choose, but it's the not being tethered to a specific place and a specific time of when and where content has to be consumed, per se. So it really is for us, up to us to constantly stay on top of what the conversations, what the options are, what the alternatives are. And there is no one set of governances, so to speak. And one of the things I did think we talked about this morning from in the session was that one of the reasons that some things haven't even moved faster, like the 15-second versus the 30-second spot, and why does it have to be 15 or 30, is that there is something defining about a currency of how the business actually works. And that is something else that as soon as currencies start changing or evolving, or there is fewer restrictions in that, we're going to see even more choice that's out there from our standpoint of how we can talk to these consumers. So it's a lot of confluence of a number of events happening at the same time.
And the creative element is important too, isn't
Very
it? Both
important.
What you do and your geniuses in the creative agencies of Omnicom, and
yes.
Which is an exciting time, and but that's being reinvented too, isn't it, the creative side?
It absolutely is. And so I started in the business when we were all together. It was every agency was a full service agency, creative, account management, strategic planning, media, etc. Media was then separated for lots of different reasons, and it still needs to be able to act in such a way, because there are so many things that happen on the media side that doesn't necessarily happen within a creative agency. But the need for integration and collaboration is even more important today, and again, because there are so many choices that have to be made. How are we talking to the different consumers, different consumer groups, etc. And quite honestly, clients don't have time. Even though they've chosen multiple agencies to be their partners, they really don't have the time or the wherewithal to be able to manage individual conversations with each of them and then put all the pieces together themselves. They're really expecting us to do that. They're really expecting that we are working very closely together. We're sharing our knowledge of how consumers are consuming media and what their habits are, and just how they go about their day. What are the areas of the purchase funnel that we all need to know, how a consumer is making a decision about things. And then on the creative side, they are the ones that are expert in really understanding how consumers feel about that brand or product or service that we're talking about. And so we need to come together so that we've got both sides of the picture of that consumer, and to put the best, the best approach, both messaging and media placement wise, together. And that cannot be done on separate paths that never intersect. They have to be intersected at all times.